Hey, I'm here at President Murray Park, where some small changes are turning into a big difference. The Munroe Bikeway runs through here, and while it's far from a perfect bikeway, it's a great example of how incremental improvements can make our city safer and more functional. So this path is already really heavily used by kids biking over to Brunskill School, or staff and students walking to the university and the hospital. It's even popular without major infrastructure because the park cuts off through traffic, keeping Munroe quiet and safe for everyone else. Instead of overhauling everything on Munroe from Main all the way to the bowl at the university, they just made some small changes here. Curbs to stop limos from blocking the path during wedding photo season here, adding these stop signs to help enforce the right of way, and adjusting to have a more reasonable speed limit on these residential streets. So these small, adaptable changes made real progress for people and solved issues today instead of waiting years for a giant moonshot project to redo all of Munroe. Developing like this is adaptable, affordable, and responsive. You can see what works and what doesn't work and make adjustments over time. But compare that to big moonshot projects, these all or nothing schemes that if one thing goes wrong, the entire thing fails. We like the vision of a lot of these big plans, but you can see if one small part falls apart, the entire thing crumbles. But compare that to some of our older neighborhoods like Broadway, like City Park, especially that North Industrial area, or like Central Avenue in Sutherland. These places have more of an adaptive and flexible form to them, so they can last over a century and change with the needs of the city. Take Raider agencies, for example. When they needed to move into a newer, bigger building to expand their business, they can do that because Central Avenue has this old core of wall-to-wall buildings. They can go to the next block over, buy up a couple parcels, and build something new and invest in that community. But an insurance company in Brighton, for example, in a strip mall, can't do that. You can't tear down the entire strip mall. So while Sutherland gets this continual investment that we've seen for so long, the built form of Brighton will just stagnate over time. Or take Temperance Street here, for example. This used to be one of Saskatoon's streetcar streets, where back in the 20s, when we were smaller than Moose Jaw, we had millions and millions of annual riders. And who would have guessed then that in the 50s and 60s, this would have become a place where everyone drove, and who would have told those people that now post-pandemic, this surge in walking and cycling has taken over the neighborhood. But this street has been able to incrementally change to meet each of those needs, and who knows what it will be 50 years from now. Instead of being locked in amber, it can always become what it needs to be. Strong towns don't wait for perfection. They act now in small ways, adjust later, and grow over time.